Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. Today I have 5 9.8 comics I should be buying now. And I wanted to keep these in a nice affordable price range as well. So let's have a look. First one, it's a Deadpool number 54 in a 9.8. This one is has a really cool Deadpool versus Punisher cover. Yeah, I just love how the colors come together on this one. Really have grown to love this one. Just over the last month or so, I just kind of realized this one's really cool. I actually tried to buy this one recently. Yeah, it was on a Comic Link. I had thrown in a bid. So the one on Comic Link had a sold for $127, and my bid was $106. And you know, Comic Link usually has really expensive shipping to Canada. So a lot of times I'll kind of throw in a stink bid, and I've only won a few things from Comic Link. Almost everything I buy is off of eBay. But was outbid on this one. But I think at $127, Deadpool 54 is a cool one if you're a big Deadpool and Punisher fan. There's 170 9.8s in the universal grade blue label, 51.1% the 9.8 ratio, so about half of them sent to CGC are 9.8s. Right at that 127 price. If you're a Deadpool Punisher fan, this is just one to get. I think it's a great value around that price, and I've tried to buy this one. I'll be on a lookout for hopefully one to pop up in Canada, or maybe really cheap shipping from the US that I can get. Maybe even up to $150 on this one. I think it's worth it with this really cool cover. Kind of fits in with a Wolverine 88, which is the first Deadpool versus Wolverine. And I'm pretty sure this is the first Deadpool versus Punisher. Yeah, it actually... Now that I think of it, I hadn't really confirmed that this morning, but it is the coolest cover I know of. I'm pretty sure it's the first overall kind of fight between them two. So a great one right at that 127 price. I think a Deadpool 54 in a 9.8. Next one, it's an Amazing Spider-Man number 410. This is a first appearance of the Spider Carnage. This one's actually trended up over time quite well for, you know, a book that was really affordable in kind of the 2019 period when I don't have this one in my collection. Yeah, I should be buying this one now pretty much, but surprised that I don't have it. Really love the cover. So yeah, back then they were in a buy it now. You could probably get them for like $110, and you wait in an auction, they're kind of $90, let's say. Well, and nowadays a few had sold for $199 in a buy it now. And if you go to that seller, I believe he has like a quantity in stock. I think there's like 10 or so in the 9.8 for this one from that one seller for $199. A few of those had sold. But I think you wait in an auction, you might be able to get this one in the kind of $150 to $175 range. So it's a pretty cool one right around this price for sure. Especially if you grew up in the 90s, you kind of remember this one like me. Yeah, I got to get this one. I'm a bit on the fence where, you know, maybe I should just get out there and buy that $199, buy it now. But more than likely, I'll probably just wait for an auction, maybe hopefully to pop up in Canada, get it closer to 150 US dollars. All the prices we talk about in US dollars all the time. 319 9.8s in the universal blue label for this one, 51.6% the 9.8 ratio. So if you remember this one, you're a big Carnage fan, this is just one to think about in that sort of $150 to $200 price range. Okay, moving on. So I do have a Batman 436 in a CBCS 9.8, but I probably should buy a CGC 9.8 as well because prices are cool enough. In the CGC 9.8, saw one recently sell on Comic Link for $208. And there had been a few that I kind of went around this level, but the auctions to me, they looked off-centered, or you know, the book just looked a little off in certain ways. So I was waiting for a nice one to kind of pop up. And this one was a very nice one, still going for around that $200 level. This was a book, and then a CGC 9.8. It was right around the $400 level during, you know, the peak of the hot COVID market, let's say, about a year and a half ago. But this one is a first appearance of Tim Drake and origin of Dick Grayson, Robin Retold, George Perez cover art. Great one from a lot of angles. It's even pretty great on the census, too. Yeah, I think I should be buying like a CGC 9.8 of this one around $200. I think it's a really good value. There's 175 in the blue label, a one of 175 in the CGC 9.8, 16.9% the 9.8 ratio. So that's a great toughness in the 9.8 as well. Of all graded copies, only 16.9% of them are 9.8s. So right around $200, I actually think a Batman 436 in a CGC 9.8 is a great value right now. And I am kind of picky on this one because the CBCS 9.8 I got has like immaculate centering and just looks amazing, super flat, crisp white pages. So, you know, I'm really satisfied with this copy, but hopefully I'll end up picking up a CGC 9.8 in Batman 436, especially now that the value's been cut in half, you know, over the last year and a half. Okay, and next one is an Amazing Fantasy 15. The Facsimile editions, in the no barcode though, I would recommend for this one. You know, in these facsimiles, there's nothing too special about them, so it probably makes sense to kind of go after the little bit tougher of a facsimile, which are these no barcode ones. Seem to be a little bit tougher to find. But nowadays, like, I did a video about 6 months ago about these, and I thought they were really cool, and there was a few sales around $300, like in the $275, $300 range. But there seems to be more people getting them graded, and they're popping up on eBay, more supply. Price is coming down. Saw one sell recently for $172.50. I actually think like a no barcode Amazing Fantasy 15 9.8 facsimile for $172.50. That's a pretty great buy. So there's a 623 of these all together with like the barcode and the no barcode ones, you know, clumped together in the 9.8. 80.3% is the 9.8 ratio. So, you know, I don't really go after too many of the facsimiles, but I think in this no barcode variant, now that the prices are cooling down, it's one to think about in the Amazing Fantasy 15. Okay, last one, a pretty under the radar book for sure. One I've really grown to like though. It's a Green Lantern number 195. This is my favorite Green Lantern cover from this era, and you know, the auctions that you see on this one still stay pretty cheap. So I think it's just, if you're a Green Lantern fan, it's one to think about, and it's one I really should be buying, to be honest. I've been really close to pulling the trigger. I think I got outbid on an auction or two as well. Great cover though. Yeah, I love this one. It's a guy Gardiner becomes Green Lantern, but I think this is like the third time or so he becomes the Green Lantern. So that's not really, you know, it's not really a key issue, to be honest. It does have like a Crisis of Infinite Earths crossover in it, but really just all about the cool cover for a pretty affordable price. There's a 75 9.8s in a blue label, 40.5% the 9.8 ratio, so there's not too many of them out there. I feel like if there was more, I would have this one in my collection, but I remember one selling, and I looked back at my notes for $136.08. And yeah, one pops up on an auction. You might even get it closer to 100. But for me, this one's pretty, I would say, worth up to $150 if it was just had great centering, you know, great eye appeal in the 9.8. Interesting too for this one. Pretty tempted. There was a Canadian price variant. There is a Canadian price variant on eBay in a 9.8 for this one. And I believe it's like $345 in kind of a flat buy it now, I believe. I don't think it's a best offer. But that is a really cool collector item. I should have looked on the Canadian price variant census to see how many of those there are. I did not. But there can't be too many of those. It's got to be like a 1 of 5 or something like that. So that one might be cool if you're really serious about this one and you really like this book. But in the direct edition, you know, closer to $100, up to $150, I think a Green Lantern 195 is pretty worth it in a 9.8. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to think of some 9.8 CGC 9.8s that I don't have in my collection that are still pretty affordable that I should really just be buying now. So thought I'd make a quick video and share it with everyone. All right, team. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. If you're liking my content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.